I'm Darren Crooks.
I'm Curtis York. I'm James Oliver.
Welcome to ForTalkSake, and today we're going to be talking about 5 films that we really enjoy. So
it's going to be a two-parter though.
It's going to be a two-parter, yes, because we're doing 5 films that we really enjoy, but we're also in the next video going to be talking about 5 films that we really fucking don't like.
Despise.
Pieces of shit.
A dumpster fire.
Yes. Anything else to add to that, Curtis?
Dumpster fire, just about done.
Alright then. We're going to be doing this here hopefully once a week, or whenever we decide that we're going to do it, it'll be up. So, to get things kicked off, we'll start with Curtis.
Ooh. Right, so, as we said last time, these aren't our favourite 5 films. They're just like films, basic films we like. So we, like a top film that we like, but doesn't mean they are our top 5.
They're up there.
So my first one is Transformers, the first one.
Wouldn't even be in my top 50.
No. I remember the first time I seen it was Christmas Day. The year it came out, my brother went to see it, and my sister in the cinema. My brother really liked it. Was it 2007 it came out? Can't remember.
We would have been about 14 when it came out, so.
Well, he went to see it in the cinema and really liked it. So my mum bought him it for Christmas. So we watched it Christmas Day, and I liked it so much I watched it again on Boxing Day. I really liked that movie. I thought Shia LaBeouf was brilliant in it. He's a mental case now, but I thought his performance in it was really good. And the way he was like, disco ball, that way, it totally done really well.
Fair enough. I think my fondest memory of the Transformers film was, it was the first ever issue I bought of Total Film, was the one based around the first Transformers film. And it was from that issue that I went on to collect Total Film for about 5 or 7 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
5 or 7.
5 or 7.
I still buy it, like every month.
Yeah. I gave up on it a long time ago. I don't know why. I can't even remember the last issue I bought. I think the last issue I bought might have been Thor: The Dark World.
Fair. Speaking of it, just while we're there.
The newest issue.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you collect them too? What is it? Do you collect them now? Yeah, like every month for about the past probably 3 or 4 years now. Since I started doing this, pretty much I just bought it. So yeah,
we could combine our collection together.
What is it?
I said we should combine our collection together.
Yeah, you probably have some crap issues in there. Somewhere.
I have the Hitman. Remember of your man Timothy, whatever the fuck his name is. He's on the front cover of it and all.
Nice.
James, what is on your top list?
Okay, so I'll start with a very recent one. Came out only just last year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Great film.
Yeah, directed by Quentin Tarantino, of course. It's his 9th film. And yeah, just as with any Quentin Tarantino film, fantastic cast. And just a lot of fun, this one. Tells the story of like a has-been actor who basically, gets involved in other shit but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And of course Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt just play off each other so well. So, and that scene where it's Brad Pitt taking on, what do you call him? Yeah, Bruce Lee, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic scene, that. So, yeah.
You haven't seen it yet, Curtis? Sure you haven't? No, great film. I've seen it in the cinema, and I've seen it, and I have it on Blu-ray. It's a great film.
Same.
Yeah. It's actually probably one of the better, most recent Tarantino films, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Fair enough.
I like Django.
Django was good, yeah. What did they do after Django?
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
You see, that was the one that annoyed me a bit.
It was like slow paced to start with, and then it kicked into it, but only like the last like half hour, 40
Even
minutes.
whenever I kicked into it, it still bored the tits off me though. It was the most self-indulgent film I think he's ever made. Was The Hateful Eight. But yeah, my first one is Clerks, written and directed by Kevin Smith. It is the film that made me once believe that I could become a filmmaker. Once believe that I could become a filmmaker, because I seen it and I was like, wow, this film is so minimal, and there's not much effort put into it that I could just do this. Apparently not. What?
Remember you got me to watch it?
Yeah.
Did he work in that shop, or was that just...
He worked in the shop that the film is based in, and the characters are based on him and his mate, basically.
Like, that's where he is now, though.
I know.
That all just he filmed in a shop.
To this day, Kevin Smith is probably still my favourite writer-director, because I like him as a person as well as, someone who makes films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it, James?
No.
No.
Heard of it? I haven't seen it. 4 years ago.
What?
It was before 4 years ago.
Fair.
Cheeky bastard.
Alright then, back to Curtis.
My next one is going to be a golden oldie. If I can get it. And that is Liar, Liar.
Liar. That is a golden oldie.
It's good. Have you even watched it? It's not even out of the packaging. No, I ordered it because I didn't have it. A few packaging because movies that I like having them, but it doesn't mean I'm going to actually watch them. You know, like Liar Liar is online, so I'll just watch it online anyway. Do you know what I mean? As long as I have that, because you never know the day the internet will stop working or something. Do you know what I mean? So then I have it.
That's fair. That's the same process I
May
have.
2020. Have you seen Liar Liar, James? Yes, I've seen it.
I'm surprised.
It was in the 90s. Well, it's like a short. I find it like a summer film. Like, it's like, all those movies that go on during the summer or something. You always find it on ITV2 all the summer.
That's why I haven't watched it in so long. Because it was on repeatedly over the summer in ITV2. Like, every afternoon it was like, Liar, Liar. You're like, wow, that was on yesterday.
Came out in 1997.
97.
It's only an hour and 23 minutes long. So it's 83 minutes long.
See, that was one of the films that came out when Jim Carrey was at his peak.
Oh, he was...
The late 90s was really Jim Carrey's place.
Yeah. Remember the movie Mask he done? It was also brilliant.
I love that film.
That's fantastic.
Out of all the Jim Carrey films, that would probably be the one I'd go to.
I haven't seen it in years.
Brilliant film. Alright, James, what's up next for you?
Sorry for you just going to end that with what's up. It's like, well, a lot of things. For me, next pick, I'm going to go with Wonder Woman. I thought it was after the fucking shambles that was everything else that DC put out up until that point. I thought it was, like one of their better origin stories, and it's just really well paced. Director Patty Jenkins did the what? Answers all. Yeah, answers Gal Gadot. So director Patty Jenkins. What? A bit skinny. Good looking, like.
A lot of people have that issue with Wonder Woman whenever it was like she was first announced to be Wonder Woman. They're like, she's got no tits. But that's just such a male perspective on things.
The World War I scene in particular, her bombing across the trenches or no man's land, is really well shot and really well executed, and then that kicks off like a really great kind of fight sequence that lasts for about 20 minutes. So overall I love it. 20 minutes longer than James can last. Why? You tell us. We're talking about films and you just physically attack me like that. You verbally attack me.
Verbally attack.
Why? Verbally, I was going to say. Yeah, Verbally attack, yeah.
It's got so bad, James's connection's fucked up.
Disconnected now, yeah.
Yeah, literally. You're just a purple screen saying you are having connection issues.
The light on my back yet? No.
Nope. Right, you're back now. See, I don't know if it's my fault or not.
Anyways, I'm going to go skip this thing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Right, so,
Reservoir Dogs. Quentin Tarantino's first feature film.
I remember this movie for two reasons. One, you got me to watch it because you loved that film. So, and I remember watching it, and it was done so well. But again, like, not that not much happens, but not many locations, but so much happens in it.
Yeah.
It's been really good. And then the second thing I remember that movie was us in HMV in Bangor when you were trying to get it.
I was,
And
what,
we were only 17.
17? And, like, had no ID. And you were filming me from the corner to see if I would get refused service. And I
You
didn't.
got served.
I got served.
Nice.
No, but there was a few occasions though you did ask people.
It was because I wanted the Richard Pryor live in concert DVD, which was an 18, and I went up to some dude and I was like, "Here, mate, can you get that for me?"
He looked at it though and was like, why is that even an 18? Like, call it.
Whatever. Yeah, no, Reservoir Dogs still is probably my favorite Tarantino film to date.
Great.
Yeah. It's that opening scene.
It's not even the opening scene, it's the fucking ear cutting scene with stuck in the middle of you.
You wouldn't be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Plus I love Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant in that film. To be honest,
I
the
love
entire
that.
cast are, but he stands out for me in it.
I love that TV show Lie to Me that he was in. That
It was
got
a great
cancelled.
show.
Brilliant show.
Only lasted 3 seasons and I got cancelled on a cliffhanger.
Outrageous. Right.
Alright then, back to you, Curtis.
Again, a few good men.
Never seen it.
No.
Never seen it.
Are
All I know is you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's all I remember as well.
see him. You have to watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it.
I will at some point.
No, don't say you'll watch it at some point. Right? The amount of crap I've
I
let.
screwed up that video, I'm just gonna watch it now.
Dude, it's really good. It's actually really interesting.
Sure it is.
I think it's one of Tom Cruise's better stuff.
That's not hard, to be fair.
Alright, well, we'll just go back to James.
RoboCop would be next for me.
I
Yeah,
also,
the
original.
original, not that bomb.
I watched the remake and I was
Like,
like,
remake. No, don't like scrap the remake. Just fucking again. Actually, you know what? The remake will probably be in my top 5 like shite films.
Right, okay.
like, he took it back to it.
Yeah, because it's so bad. Yeah, but the original RoboCop, the first truly great sci-fi film that I personally saw, not like as in general, but the one that I saw. I remember the scene where like the big massive like machine like guns him like out the building and like
Yeah.
kills him. Yeah, I remember that scene. Fucking gave me nightmares whenever I first watched this. Because go ahead.
Whenever I first watched RoboCop, I was at a weird age. I was quite young still, and I just remember seeing the stop motion. I was like, "Wow, this movie is absolute dog shit." And it wasn't until about a couple of years later, whenever I was in my teenage years, I watched it again, and I was like, "You know what? This is actually a really good film, even if the
Yeah.
stop motion is terrible."
It's fucking terrible.
The gore is phenomenal in it.
Yeah, it's how he ends up becoming RoboCop. Like that scene is so iconic, and it's when you compare the films of today's standards and basically what they more so can't get away with showing on screen, even in the 18s, compared to what they got away with. in this scene. Like,
the remake
he
just
just
goes to show you.
blown to bits.
The remake goes to show you that, like, RoboCop is not a movie that can be made today in the same way it was back then. Without
100%,
being
like,
a cult classic sort of thing, you know, one of them horror films that gets pushed under the radar because nobody wants to talk about how gory it is.
like it is, that scene in particular is brutal. Like he gets pumped like a pump shotgun straight through his like entire body.
Yeah,
And
it's like his body
James-
and his arm gets blown off and all sorts.
Yeah,
Later on,
And
your
he actually
man's like
has
melting
these
from acid and shit and gets hit by the car and explodes.
yeah. It's like, okay, cool. And then that's how he gets rebuilt after that. And obviously, again, just when you see that silhouette for the first time, you know, boom, boom, and the guy's like, what the fuck? And then you see him walk in, you're like, yes, I want more of that.
I was really
But
annoyed
the
as
TV
well. What?
The TV show. Did you ever watch the TV show of it? Either of you?
I've seen bits of it on really cheap, like, DVDs.
Yeah, like the TV show is so tepid. So tepid compared to this, and you're like,
Yeah.
how did they get away with it?
The only RoboCop film I like is the first one because I thought the sequels were shit and the show was terrible. There's no point. You just leave it as a standalone film and it's great.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fair play. Wayne's World is next on my list. Brilliant film.
I've not seen it, but I know it is.
Mike
At
Myers.
least I know what it is. Well,
It was like Mike
The
Myers'
original-
first foray into the movie industry. And it was the first time everybody found out that Mike Myers is really difficult to work with. Because he has, to be fair though, he has the idea in his head and it's his characters that he took from Saturday Night Live to bring into a feature film. So he helped write, he was obviously a big part in writing the script and all. So he had the straight idea, this is what my characters are doing and this is how I want the story to go. So anytime the director was trying to disagree with Mike Myers, he was like, nah, fuck off.
Like therapy, basically like working with art.
I'm not that bad to work with. James
No,
hasn't
no,
made
you're
a
not.
movie with me yet, so he doesn't know. It's usually if something's gonna hurt you, I'll make sure it does.
Never working with you.
Like when you had a real knife to the throat.
Yeah. The second film we ever made together had a real knife just.
Real
Jesus
trust
Christ.
there. Real trust there.
Yeah. Real
Like, you
fear
gotta
in his
get all
face
that-
though. You see, there was real
Yeah.
fear.
All about that suspense.
I remember you saying afterwards, Curtis, you're like, all I was kept thinking about was, what if this is the day that he snaps?
I know. That's one of it. I was shitting my pants.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
No, but Wayne's World is a great comedy. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favour and watch it.
I'll add it to the list.
I want to see your list, James.
I know. I want to see him actually watch something on his list.
I
That's
know.
what you don't want to do, man. Trust me.
He says I'm added to my list. It just reminds me of Jingle All the Way. You're my number one customer. It just comes off his tongue. And the
No, you have to put the accent on, Curtis.
No,
Yeah.
You're my number one.
don't forget. You're my number one customer.
Vaguely racist, but it works.
That was his accent.
Alright, Curtis. What's your number 4?
Again, face off.
Face off.
As you can tell from my last two, of these films, I love the 90s Nicolas Cage movies.
That's
Face Off
fair.
is a lot of fun to be fair.
It is
Just
very
love
fun.
the movie. Have you seen it? James?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's, like,
I fuck
it's
off.
it's such a weird concept.
Yeah, it is.
Or it's not
Yeah.
done so well.
But you can tell it's done by the same guys that made Con Air and Gone in 60 Seconds and The Rock. I don't know.
I know, yeah.
Or maybe that's just Nicolas Cage.
It's just one of the though. Like, it's just, it was that era. It was like, around the same era that had all the high school, they were like the college movies. Maybe
Yeah.
American Pie and all. Like, I think it was, I don't 2000s, I think they had some of the best films ever.
Great
I'd
action
say.
films.
What else?
Yeah. Really
Dated,
good
but they're
time.
great.
What?
They are
I
dated,
did
but they're
watch
great.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you can still watch them. They still hold up today.
yeah. Alright, James. Number 4.
Pick number 4 for me would be The Wolf of Wall Street. So,
Very good film.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever
again,
watched it.
No?
no.
See if you like Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie. Watch it.
I'm not a big fan of her.
No?
No.
Well,
Trust me, you will be after this.
No, see, I've seen the whole foot scene and all, you know.
Not talking about that.
Yeah.
A little bit of leg, you know.
No.
there's a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, again, I just thought really well done, and the story it tells, again, is something similar to the story of The Big Short, which, if you watched our other video, you'll know is in my top 10, but it's just a lot more comic than that.
It's a lot better.
And just, yeah, well, they're on
You agree
par,
with me?
they're on par.
I've seen all the memes.
Yeah,
You see that
like
scene where he's trying to get into his car with fucking Hammy and Kinks?
I think that
It's-
McConaughey's a really good actor.
Yeah, the cinema was in about stitches for about 20 minutes of that scene, like after taking the Quaaludes. He's like, it's just so well done. And he's like,
You know?
it's when he gets home and he's like, and this doesn't spoil anything, Curtis, by the way, but it's when he gets home and he's like, he gets home and he's like, I can't believe I made it home in one piece. And then he gets arrested later on. The car's a fucking mess. He goes, maybe I didn't get home in one piece. And it shows you what actually happened. And you're just sitting there pissing yourself the entire time.
It's
So-
not based on a true story, is it?
It is.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Jordan Belford, yeah.
Yeah.
He worked on Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio, everyone says it should have been the film he got the Oscar for. I still heavily agree with that. So.
I agree with that as well.
The movie he got it for, I don't think he really should have.
The Revenant?
Yeah.
It's a good film if that's your sort of thing, but
I
it's...
think they just give him it. They just were like, just give him it.
Yeah, it was peer
Yeah,
pressure.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's the cinematography in it is really it's really great. It's really slow paced though, yeah, but the cinematography I think is brilliant in The Revenant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally think they're like, right,
It's
lads,
not a
fuck, we
great
can't-
film in the end of the day.
Like, I literally think they all turned to each other. It was like, right, lads, we can't really, fuck them off again. Here it's like, Leo? Yeah, Leo, everyone's here, Leo. But yeah, no.
Right,
Yeah.
so for my number 4, it is 28 Days Later.
Oh, bravo, sir.
I fucking love that film. It's probably my
What a
favorite
film.
infection film.
What a film.
Yeah.
Great show.
It's not my
there's
favorite
only
zombie
three
movie,
more.
but it's my favorite infection film.
What a genre.
I have
There is a
sub-genres for everything.
What?
There is a third one coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, but if it's not directed by Danny Boyle or has anything to do with him, I don't want to see it.
No.
Like, the second one was good. Like, I really enjoyed 28 Weeks Later, but 28 Days Later, I think, is phenomenal.
It was a scene where the blood dripped into his eye
Yeah.
from the tree, and then he turned to father.
Aye, Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
It's also the first time we're ever introduced to that music, which is probably my favourite piece of music in any film, In the House, which is like the theme song for 28 Days Later.
Don't think I've heard it.
Oh, I'll send it to you after, it's a fucking great tune. I actually used it in a video that me and Curtis did years ago for Tech, a trailer we made. Yeah, remember
I
Something in the Attic?
Oh, I've heard it, yeah. But
Yeah.
were we allowed to use that?
Nope.
That was-
But then I didn't think I was going to use it for YouTube or anything, it was just for like a media piece in my tech
Yeah.
course, which I got a distinction for.
Nice.
I got a distinction for all our media, film stuff and photography. I got distinction. It
It's all
more
the writing stuff I got like
Yeah,
worse stuff for.
yeah.
But they also use the same tune in Kick-Ass near the end whenever he blows your man up with the fucking bazooka.
I remember that.
But yeah, no, I'll send the song over to you, James, afterwards because it's a great fucking tune. You'll probably recognise it when you hear it.
Probably. I do like film soundtracks a lot, so I do, so.
Yeah, no, but it's a phenomenal film, and the grittiness of the way it was shot, because it was all shot with handheld cameras. Because you see, I have the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray does nothing for the movie because you can't clean up footage file from from raw footage file from a digital fucking camcorder.
True.
So what you see is what you get. So it doesn't matter if you have it on DVD or Blu-ray; it's going to look the same, and it just adds to the whole feel of the film. So, yeah. What's your fifth one, Curtis?
Right, now, before small break, I think this is a brilliant film, and I really liked the second one. It wasn't quite as good, but it was still really good. Now, Darren, don't judge.
Can't promise anything.
I think I have a feeling what it is.
What is it? No,
High School Musical?
I bet you don't. You know.
You said
High School Musical?
What?
High School Musical?
No.
Ah.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What movie? Have you seen it, Darren?
Once.
It was good.
Never watched it again.
If you like Mamma Mia, you would like that.
Look, from what I remember, I didn't hate it, but I never thought, oh, can't wait to watch that again.
I think it's a classic. It's brilliant.
Is
It's
it
just-
though?
But then again, I love those like stories where like someone like really like, changes themselves. Like she was, she was hidden from the world, and then her dad had her working in like his cafe.
Yes.
Wonder why Darren doesn't like it.
Why?
Because there's no gore.
That's no reason not to like it.
We'll just move on.
No.
Move on, Darren. Go ahead. Move on.
James.
Darren, flash your answer number 5.
Yeah, so my final pick would be Hounds of Love.
Haven't seen it or heard of it.
It's an Australian horror thriller film, loosely based on real events of this couple who lived in Perth, Australia. Pretty sure it's Perth. And they basically abducted like school children, raped them, murdered them, and then buried them like out back, in like the forests. It's an indie film. It went completely under the radar. Queen's Film Theatre only showed it. Pardon?
Thank you.
I don't know what are you saying?
Come on.
Queen's Film Theatre only showed it for a limited run, as did Movie House Cityside, so Dublin Road, nor The Odyssey or anyone showed it. And me and my
The way
mate
you
just went
avoid
in.
Omniplex.
What is it?
Yeah, so you just avoid mentioning Omniplex.
Fuck that anymore, thanks. So me and my mate went to see it. I've seen the trailer. I'd seen the trailer and it looked great. My mate had just went in blind, had nothing to do with it. Curtis, you probably would absolutely hate it come the 3/4 mark because a dog is stomped to death in it. So yeah.
I'm interested.
But why do you do it?
Because I know it pisses people off, like you. Little snowflakes who can't take a fucking dog in their head stumped in.
What is the need?
I bet you sat and hugged your dog after you watched American Psycho.
What do you mean after? I
Sure,
was
it does, like-
one foot in the air and one finger away to turn it off. What I got though?
You're doing it there. I've got my dog sitting beside me going, you do anything wrong, you're gonna fucking get that.
But yeah.
It's just looking at me like, what?
If I see someone slapping someone across the street, no, it's your own, if I see someone slapping a dog across the street, I'm going there. You know what I mean?
actors and actresses in it, they're not well known, like, at all. Honestly, I haven't even looked up what else they've been in since, if anything. But yeah, it's just really dark and gritty, and it doesn't show you a particular scene in it, but it it gets to pretty much as close as you can do without showing you it. So think of The Last House on the Left. You've seen it both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Talking about the original or the remake?
Yeah, think of that scene. There's a similar scene. What is it?
That's a
No.
remake.
I'm talking about the rape scene. But so it basically gets as close as you can do to that without actually showing it, if that makes sense. And it is brutal, like, I won't lie, like, you're fucking sitting there going, this is some heavy hitting stuff, but it's really well done, and it's, if you can find it online, yeah, definitely give it a watch. Even watch the trailer.
What's it called again?
I'll link Hounds of Love.
Hounds of Love.
Yeah, I'll link you the theme song used in the trailer afterwards. It's really a great piece of music as well, so yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
What is it?
What is it about horror / whatever the fuck happens in those kind of movies? Is it the user attracted to?
I'll let James
Like
answer
movies
first because I really need to pee.
Like movies that animals, humans are getting raped. What is it like?
I mean, personally, well, for the animal side of things, I wouldn't say like I watched the film specifically to be like, oh, an animal gets butchered to death or stomped on. I don't know. I think it's because for me, what attracts them to me, or why I'm attracted to films like that personally, is because for years, and I've mentioned this in previous videos before, for years I never watched horror films. If a thriller, even borderline, went anywhere near horror, I just couldn't do it. And so for years I missed out on a lot of stuff. Like the original Halloween, I hadn't watched until about 4 years ago. So because again, it was just so unnerving to me at the time. So I think why I'm so attracted to him is because personally, again, the stories they tell are just ever so slightly more grounded in some aspects. Now there's some that are completely far fetched and like, you're like, right, okay, it's fiction. But then again, those that are told are on a more like grounded, realistic terms. They just tell better stories and they engage like me more as like a cinema goer, where I come out of it and you question certain things then about the world. So you question being like, fuck, stuff like that, like abductions, rape. It's like these aren't things that are like how the film depicts it. They're not, like murder and stuff like that. How the film depicts it. These are things that actually happen in real life and are as gruesome as that. And then as a cinema goer, when I say enjoy it, well, yeah, to a certain extent, the horror classics like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Predator, they're great like action flicks, but the more serious toned ones, I enjoy them more because they aren't afraid to tell those types of stories.
See, for me though, I like the Halloweens, the classics, horror movies like that. You see, whenever like there's like rape, assault, like sexual assault, and like animal cruelty, like it just depresses me. It makes me feel sick.
Like I say, I wouldn't say.
Like I honestly, I'm left feeling sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would say, I enjoy it as in. Yeah, like I wouldn't say I enjoyed it as in like I come out and I'm like, oh, Thursday was class,
Right, fellas,
but like I say,
I'm gonna stop you there. This seems like a video that could be done separately, talking about horror films as a whole genre. And we could do it for every other genre. We could talk about horror films, we'll talk about action films, talk about rom-coms, comedies in general. But I feel like this is a discussion we could have a good long video on.
Oh yeah,
properly.
What's your take?
Right, so we'll just cut all this out and then go to dark.
Okay. Remind me to do that because I'll forget.
Right,
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, we could make a really long, good video out of just talking about that. Yeah.
Right, number 5.
Right. So, my number 5 is the Boondock Saints.
Why did I do that?
Because I made you watch it.
What was it about?
It is got Norman Reedus in it and Billy Connolly. It was a movie made. It also has Willem Dafoe in it as a detective.
Hey, Hey!
Hey. But it came out in the 90s, can't remember when. But it's basically about two brothers who take on a vigilante sort of escapade, killing all the gangsters and stuff in Boston.
I remember now. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
They're kick-ass before kick-ass.
Yeah, well, they're just two gunmen, basically, so they are.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a very good film, and the humour in it's really good, and Willem Dafoe's character is hilarious because he's camp as fuck, and whenever he is at a murder scene or a crime scene, he's like visualising what they actually done, and that's whenever we get to see what the characters have actually done.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's really good that way. It's a very unique film. I actually
Tell me the
watched
name of that.
Boondock Saints, so I'll have this sorted out for you. It's a great film. I watched a documentary about the making of the Boondock Saints, and the director, Troy Duffy, is just such a fucking ballbag. He thinks he's bigger than his boots the whole time he's making it. And he's like, his band does all the music for it and all, and he's always having arguments with the Weinstein brothers over the phone and stuff about how he wants his movie made. And it takes forever, and even Willem Dafoe chips in sometimes, thinking like, oh, maybe you should approach this a different way and all. And Troy Duffy's like, nah, fuck off.
How nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fine chap.
Yeah, it was a good insight to the behind the film scenes.
The filmmakers, they're so set on what they want that is why they're directors, I think. Though.
That's it. No, he wasn't even before this movie. He wasn't a filmmaker. He was a buncher for a bar. But he wrote this script, and that's what got him attention. He was an overnight success, who then ran it into the ground.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he ran his success into the ground before this movie even came out, and I think that's a big reason why a lot of people haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very good film, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly suggest it. Recommend it. Yeah, that's the right word.
I'll add it to the list.
See your list. I want to proofread your list.
James has seen 5 of the films mentioned tonight, and they were all his own.
Fair enough. So, yeah, has anybody got anything else they want to add to this video before we wrap things up?
So this is the end of part 1.
Yes. We're going to be doing a part 2 where we talk about the worst films on our lists.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
5 of them at least, anyway. And we're going to hopefully continue to do this.
Anyone else's favorite lists?
Yeah. If you have a top 5 or 5 films you really enjoy that you want to talk about, if you disagree with any of our top picks, tell us why.
Or even give us your list and we can discuss them.
Yeah. If somebody comments
We go
below,
through them.
we'll talk about them and say if they're shit or not.
Just, yeah, I was going to say, discuss.
Or we can find out if James has seen it or not.
Yeah.
That's probably a better list to do,
Yeah,
actually.
that should be a segment on its own. Has James seen this film?
Yeah, so that's a segment and a half there.
Of course not.
But yeah, so make sure you check in for part 2. Hopefully it'll be up soon after this video goes up. Hopefully in a couple of days or 2.
It'll probably be the next video up.
Yeah, it will be. Just don't know when it'll be up. If we're lucky, it'll be the day after, but depending on how life is, that depends on what happens. But yeah, so part 2 is going to be worst films that are in our 5s list. 5 worst films that are in our list. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know, I'm talking to you first now. Thanks for watching this video. Join us next time. And if you want to get involved and be part of the ForTalkSake crew, then all you need to do is email me at unofficialreview92@gmail.com and we'll get something sorted. You can have an article, you can have a video, whatever you like, as long as it's not shite. So yeah, like, subscribe, all that shit. You know how to work YouTube, so thanks for watching. Bye.